demo road marking machine for the total sum of $33,746. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
And discussion? It's I see here that you put it up for bid, and
Yeah,
we had
it's
one.
demo unit. The one bid that came in as a new piece of equipment was $44,000, and we saved approximately $12,000 on a demo unit for line striping throughout the city that we provide in our building and sign division. So,
Okay.
How many do we have? How many machines do we have?
only one, and it's
Only
12
one.
years old, and
And
this
this
is
is one.
replacing it. Yeah.
I see.
Mhm.
Okay. Is it budgeted?
Yes, it is budgeted.
Okay. Thank you.
Yep.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Item number 26, a resolution acknowledging the Common Council's support of the efficient financial management and operation of the city's sanitary sewer utility, and authorizing the Assistant City Engineer to submit the Compliance Maintenance Annual Report, the CMAR, to the Wisconsin Department of Natural Resources. Not the CMAR.
Is this a report let's try.
Alderman Chaplowski.
Is this a report we do on a yearly basis?
It's required by the DNR.
Yes. And we have to have a resolution to have you do the letter?
Yes.
Okay.
It's
Move for
actually-
approval.
Second.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Carries. Item number 27, resolution opposing the Milwaukee Water Works transferring excessive funds to the city of Milwaukee. Is there a motion?
Move to approve.
Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Okay. Further discussion?
Mr. Chair,
Alderman Rote.
Joe, is this going to be one of those things again where we have to have all the surrounding communities gang up and hire attorneys to get the message across again?
I believe that's the intent, yes. What they're asking for is allowable. They want their maximum amount to be transferred back to their tax.
They being Milwaukee.
Yeah.
And what percentage is that for the increase? I mean, last year when we took them on, it was almost a 30% rate increase, and we got it down to in the low teens, I believe. Am I accurate in that, or close?
Not sure what it all worked out to, but yeah, they just want to be able to take 3% of their water budget and put it back into the general fund, which is allowable under the Public Service Commission.
Mr. Lewis was saying that because of the increase, a potential 3% increase, if in fact the city of Milwaukee chooses to raise their prices in the fall, what have you, this communication will help and hopefully express our concerns with that increase. And then Mr. Lewis indicated that a year or 2 years ago, your folks had a consultant that came in and was defending the city because of this increase. So that would happen again, that we would choose to have a consultant group come in to represent the city of West Dallas.
So,
Mr. Chair,
Alderman.
we basically discussed this at last meeting. If
Yes.
correct me if I'm wrong. And obviously, we are in agreement that they keep asking for rate increases, whereby Milwaukee is stashing the money into their fund and not
Correct.
really helping the communities that they're servicing.
Right.
So basically, I definitely think this is important that we do this. Take a stand.
Right. Yep.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carries. Item number 28, a resolution relative to accepting the proposal of Purple Cow Organics LLC for providing yard waste management services for a 5-year period, with a mutual agreement to renew the contract up to 4 additional 1-year periods after December 31 of 2014 for an estimated sum of $484,375 and optional services for logs 10 inches or greater at $35 a ton, and soil screen of stump grindings to separate wood fiber from soil at $6.65 a ton.
So this is a service that we have yard waste, brush, We act as a transfer station, staging area. We do not do composting at our Morgan Avenue dump site for other reasons. Because of this, we had a contractor for approximately 12 to 15 years, S&R, through Whitewater, Wisconsin, and they chose to not renew their contract. They were getting out of that type of business. In doing such, we had to open up a RFP and try to see if there's any interest out there, and we were limited to this only vendor who's centralized in Middleton, Madison, Wisconsin, Purple Cow Industries. So we only received one bid at this time, and thus why we went with the one-year contracts at increments up to 5 years. With this, that there are price increases that we received with Purple Cow, and we were kind of forced to accept such at this time. But doing the one-year increments allows us some buffer where we can seek alternatives if we have more of a demand competition for that. We are looking at potentially what we had for last year. S&R for the amount of brush and yard waste for them processing is around $54,000. Last year, Purple Cow, given the price range that they had here, is about $96,000. Also, Mr. Lewis wanted to express the concern of the ash borer. When that comes into effect, we will be handling not only city trees but also the public trees that become infected with this ash borer disease, and that will escalate these expenses 2-3-fold. So
We can't go in the firewood business?
I guess not, no. But it will force, because all these wood chips have to be ground by a certain diameter. They cannot go and leave the quarantined area, Milwaukee County, unless they're grounded by a certain diameter, that sort of thing. So it's going to force us to either treat them here or get a service like this to grind them down so we can transport them and get rid of them. But this will potentially increase as the years go through.
Back to the composting. Is it unusual for a city of our size not to do our own composting?
There are more permit issues that we have to deal with, the DNR. We have to get special permits, licensing factors out there, and we also, once we have the staging area, all brush and leaf and yard waste, there are parameters that are set that we have to, once we receive it, we have to get rid of it in X amount of time. Yeah.
Mr. Chair,
Alderman Roth?
who's this Purple Cow? Who are they? Are they taking the branches that people drop off at the yard? Is that what we're talking about? Or stuff that our forestry department is producing?
It's both.
Both,
Good
okay.
question. So it addresses the yard waste that we have in the spring and fall of the year. We transport that to the Morgan dump site, and we just create piles and we turn it. Brush, when we pick up brush during our throughout the season, we charge for that. We pick up and collect it. We cut it or grind it, and then we take it out to Morgan dump site,
Right.
and these people then handle it. They treat it and they would transport it.
So, and now, if we pass this tonight, the guy who's got the 10-inch or greater log can bring that in now?
Potentially, yes. Yep, for a fee. You know, we do, as the Forestry Division, we do offer that service where, you know, a patron could say, you know, I would like this tree cut down, and if they elect to do it themselves, there's a fee
Right.
for us to go there and collect it, you know, by the yard or the curb, so to
Or
speak.
if they even brought it down, we would still be doing the yardage fees down at the municipal yards?
At the
Okay.
municipal yard, correct. So we are just acting right now as the staging area for this service, the tree.
Mr. Chair.
Alderman
I'm
Wright?
sorry,
No, she's louder than you.
Go ahead.
if
Yeah.
you requested.
I didn't
this.
say anything yet.
Beauty
Okay,
before age.
I was, I'm a little concerned because this service isn't obviously offered by too many businesses. So how long has Purple Cow Organics been in business?
It's, I believe, 10 to 15 years, but I'd have to check with our purchasing division
Okay.
as the
So
background on
they
that.
have,
They're well
a record.
represented. Yep.
Yes. Do you foresee in the future, you said this is the only one that offered a proposal. Do you foresee in the future that there would be other services that would be also offering? Because it seems like they're kind of, they got us over a barrel. We need their service, so we have to pay their prices.
Correct. And the request for proposal, when we sent this out, our purchasing division received a timely response from Purple Cow. However, one was not open because it came in late, and that was Advanced Services. So to this date, we're just aware of 2 service providers that offer this at this time within the Milwaukee area. And we are hoping that there's going to be more competition in this matter, yes. And you,
I would hope so.
you're absolutely correct.
Right.
Yep.
Alderman Chablusky?
I was just saying, we have to accept this bid. We can't put it out for bid again.
We could, I'd have to check, I guess, the parameters of that, alderperson.
Because
That,
if the other people are a lot cheaper, or, cheaper, period, we just put it out for bid again.
the rules, for rejecting this, I guess I'm not aware of the parameters where you can redo the RFP. Once you have that and you accept that, that's a
Do we have to
refer to
vote
the
on
legal.
this today?
Well, yeah.
Alderman Rowe?
And it's just a 1-year trial period where someone else
1
would
year.
jump in
Yep.
on year 2 and say, you know what, this 90,000, we can do it for 61 grand or
Right,
something.
and it's 1-year increments, upon approval of both parties. But there is also a time factor in this with Department of Natural Resources as well. We've been inspected and on-site inspected where we have this debris that's holding at Morgan Dump site. And it's a timely matter. We have to start addressing those big, large piles out at Morgan Dump in a timely manner. Otherwise, we'll have to address with permits and so on and so forth.
Will you automatically rebid this in a year? Can we ask you to do that with an amendment? Does that make sense to anybody, everybody? Is there a motion for an amendment?
Well, it's done yearly anyway, isn't it?
Well,
Right.
but it could be done, I think this current contract would say you guys could just agree to renew it without rebidding it.
Right, both parties, so long as they accept the terms and conditions, automatically renew unless
Right.
one or both parties indicate concerns, that would force the new bidding option, yep.
Okay, so, but we could force it being rebid in a year right now with an amendment to this. If someone would make such an amendment, or a motion for an amendment.
I just don't know why we have to accept it.
Well,
Period.
we're a little bit
Without-
under a time
without-
constraint on it this year.
And there's no
We're
other that
talking
had a
about,
timely
we're up here
response.
almost 100%, about 90%
Yeah.
more than we
Price
were
increase.
paying.
Yeah.
And so that's a lot of money. I mean, I don't know what the other bid was, but if it's 20% less than that,
Yeah,
it's talking a lot
we
of
don't
money.
know.
I think there's an
I
assistant
understand.
city attorney in the doorway.
We have no idea of knowing that because it was
I don't
not
know if
accepted.
I don't know if that's just a lawyer thing. Jeff?
Must we sign up for a
It's just-
whole year, or could we?
We had
limit the terms?
a bid for a contracted service, and only one came in on time. Another bid came in late, so that we went with the one that was on time. Is there some sort of manner in which we could rebid it? We haven't accepted it yet. Could we rebid it now?
No,
Okay.
I've got to take the one bid that came in.
That's what that would have been my guess as a layman.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's,
Okay. So I would entertain a motion to amend this resolution that would require it being rebid within the first year, if someone wants to make that motion.
I will make that motion.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman?
Alderman
I think a
Sangstein.
similar question,
I'll second it.
I think a similar question would be asked of the city attorney, whether or not you can amend something that has been, the particulars came in terms of what, I guess, I don't know if there were criterion to set forth in the publication, and then he came and bid that, and he, in good faith that the city would accept his bid, now we can amend that?
We're accepting his.
Correct.
There is a codicil or whatever in here that allows them to renew it annually. We're just saying, by mutual agreement, we're just saying that we're essentially saying no right now to next year.
Exactly, that's how I'm
Yeah. And we can do that. We're just making our mind up right now that we're gonna say no next year.
It's a one-year contract.
Yeah, we're making it into a one-year contract.
And they may very well not want to do it anymore
Right.
either, because it's mutual.
Right,
Yeah.
that'd be,
Yeah.
They may say, you know what, we didn't make a dime on this.
So I guess in essence, we're just gonna cut this down to a one-year.
1 year.
Exactly.
Okay, and that's Alderman Ranky's motion
I second it.
and Alderman Chaplesky. So on the amendment,
On the amendment.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Amendment carries. Okay. And on the resolution as amended, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carries. Let me see.
29.
And item number 29, I'm sorry.
Awesome.
Petition to stop
Move the
cruisers.
place on file.
Okay.
Second.
You Dan Heather.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? On file it is. Item number,
I think 30 was.
30 was pulled, so item number 31 is a communication from the Director of Public Works / City Engineer regarding a driveway permit for 2636 South 76th Street. I believe did everyone see the email? And the-
I think that's your district, Alderman?
For the dental office, I didn't.
No.
No.
Vito Tilly.
Somebody got a yard variance for what?
It's right across from Rapina's, there's that little...
Oh, sure. They're putting a new roof on that.
Little stub alley that goes back
Yep.
there.
And then we want
that's
a
what
driveway
they
here.
Insurance
Cut
doesn't
there.
have any problems.
And you don't have any problems with it either? With the district?
What do you need to be done? Approve?
Yeah, it's a communication, we just want to approve it.
Okay.
We have a,
Uh-oh, wait a minute.
May I approach the table?
Okay.
The petitioner is Jose. He is here. He went to the Board of Appeals. Basically, the house is in pretty rough shape. He intends to put a very nice addition, which would be a garage addition, as well as an entire second floor addition. He is requesting to have a driveway to the front of his house. It would sound reasonable to do that. But he has a very large rear yard with an alley access. It is my concern that, and by the way, he still has a large slab back there to park on. He would be parking both with the street access and in the backyard.
Let's put something in here.
My concern is you give him this driveway, when he's not being denied parking access, he has the alley, but you give him the street, he's also going to use potentially the alley, whether he does today or tomorrow. He can develop this lot with parking off of the alley with a detached garage. He can do all kinds of things, but once he starts parking in the backyard, I don't know that I or Public Works can say, hey, you got a driveway in the front, you can't park off of the alley. I don't believe there's an argument that says he can't use both. There's an argument that he can use the access off of the alley, and he can fully develop. He's not lost any use of his lot. I know Jose went to the board, argued about this. He didn't want to use his backyard for parking. He has children. He would want them to have access to the backyard, but there is a way to develop it so that it's a very nice lot in size. It's not a 30-footer. I'm going to say it's easily 60 by 120.
I'm seeing 74 by 120, and it's kind of odd shape, so it's at least 120 down.
I could draw on the board what we're speaking
Well,
about.
it's 120 here.
The Board of Appeals chose to not approve the front yard parking, but if the Board of Public Works allows this driveway off of the street, then the board says, the Board of Appeals says that's okay after your consideration. But I do have a concern for basically the future of that lot, what it's going to look like 20 years from now, the potential users, not necessarily Jose himself, the next buyer, the next user of that lot, what's going to keep him from coming in off of the alley and using that whole backyard for parking.
Mr. Chairman? I have no problem with this. I, in fact, would very much encourage side drives off the street rather than alley drives. I think most people would rather have that alley garages, alley parking of cars tends to create more crime. You have more crime in the alleys than you certainly do on the streets. And so I don't blame this person for wanting to have a side drive. This is not a unique issue. I can think of a house on 87th Street, just north of Central High School, that has a side drive. In fact, he has a drive-through garage that goes right out onto the alley. So I know these places exist in West Dallas. The reason I know that is because I almost bought the house 30 years ago. So this isn't unique. It's a nice neighborhood. I think it's not going to be any problem at all. The alley is a little stub alley. There's no traffic on it, so I have no problem.
Any further discussion?
Mr. Chair, I went and looked at this property, and there's a great deal of area that's all cement, and I can't understand, and I would assume that this area would be used for parking of vehicles, and there would be a great number of vehicles that could be parked there. And besides having the side drive, I guess the configuration of the house is somewhat how can I say it? I didn't exactly know if that little area was a garage area on the house.
There's a garage.
There's a little garage,
attached
isn't there,
garage
on the
currently?
house? So you don't plan on using that for a garage?
And I don't plan to use the back slab for parking. I wanna use for a patio because it's in the back.
Oh, I see, because that was my concern, that it's a very large area.
Yeah, and I'm just wanna try to pull a permit to make to build a fence too.
I see, and fencing or
Yeah.
whatever,
Yep.
I see, and that's a good plan. I commend you because the house is in bad shape.
Yeah, I wanna
Yes.
do
Yes.
something nice.
And you have apparently a vision of what you want there. In my own district, I have to say that there was a house that asked for a side drive, and they were turned down because there was an alley in the back, and they said you can't have a side drive and an alley both. So this would be a special, you might say.
That's why it's here.
A special use, you might say, that we don't ordinarily grant. Do I understand that correctly?
It's against the policy.
Right, it's against the policy to have two driveways.
Ted, was there any discussion about essentially vacating the alley access?
By the way, it's not a stub alley. It is an alley that goes all the way through.
Right.
Okay, so there is through traffic on the alley.
There's another 4 or 5 houses that abut that alley, and each one of them either uses the alley for access or the alley for access.
And they have a driveway, 1 or 2. They have a front driveway too.
From the street.
Yeah, from the street too.
So some of them have
Yes.
some of them already have what you're asking for.
Yeah.
But I think,
And again, was there a discussion about maybe how important is this front driveway to them, about giving up the alley access, essentially closing in the curb cut in the alley? If his intention is to use that back slab as a patio and not for vehicles, then we'd eliminate the vehicular access. So he has a big paved slab and it built a patio that does not have vehicle access to the alley.
Yep.
That would make everybody happy, right?
it would take care of the concern. And if I hear, and if I may, maybe if you're going to approve, subject to that, there will be no additional access for parking.
I mean, if he's
off
okay
of
with
the-
that, I don't know.
So if you limit it, now good luck
Is
20,
this-
30 years from now.
Well, I understand that, you know, well, we just, whenever the alley gets rebuilt, there's no curb cut put in.
It just was. It
Yeah,
used to
the
be
alley
gravel.
is-
Well, so it'll be
Brand
40
new
years.
alley.
40 years
It
alley.
used to be gravel 2 years
There's
ago.
no curb cut in the alley, it just,
It just,
Concrete.
well, or make it put a fence in or something.
or gap it, take
Yeah,
out,
yeah,
take out.
landscape it or something. I mean, is this something that we can settle in staff yet, or
No,
is
you
this, do we want to settle this? I mean, I don't know what everybody else thinks about it. Dan?
I like vacating the access or delineating it somehow with a curb or something. Yeah, just so we don't have 20 cars there, we just have 10. I know, everybody says that to us, like, promise, we won't do that, but then all of a sudden it just happens overnight, so we have to cover ourselves a little bit too. So we could somehow vacate that slab or make it very apparent that it's not for parking, I'd be very happy.
Okay, so do you want to offer an amendment?
That would be my amendment. I don't know how I would word it, but how
sure-
Ted said it, where we would,
He's going to be working on this. It's a lot of money, $100,000 or more he's putting into it. If you could just, if I may suggest, restrict this drive off of the street is his only permitted access. Any access off of the alley to the rear yard in the future is not allowed by this
Vehicular access.
vehicular access.
that would be my
No
amendment.
vehicular access off the alley.
Second, the amendment.
Are you getting the amendments?
You gonna reword it?
Ask me tomorrow what I said.
Okay. And now, how about a motion on the amended
We gotta vote on it.
communication?
We gotta vote on it.
Oh, let's vote on the amendment. All in favor of the amendment?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Amendment carries. How about a motion on the whole
Move for
communication?
approval, Mr. Chair.
Okay, and is there a second? Alderman Chaplesky. Any further discussion?
Is there room for a garage?
There's room.
There's room on the,
Off of the alley, there's
Yes.
a lot of room to put a garage in the backyard and
Yes.
still have lots of room.
yes, okay,
Okay.
thank you.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carries. I believe that is it, and the Board of Public Works is done for the day.
Not really for the day.
Well,
Okay, but Mr. Singh's not leaving the room.
no, we're,
Well, we got him down to park there, so it worked out well. No, I know where it is now, and I know that.
He said it's good. Raji,
Putting 100 grand in.
what?
I got some
66.
comparison with you.
We're doing appearances.
oh, okay.
66.
I'm here.
Okay,
That
good.
was an appearance.
Read it.
You bet. See you again shortly.
Okay.
Waiting for
We're
Alderman
calling the
Singh.
meeting to order? No, we're not.
Oh,
Wow.
wow.
So Raji, I know it's you. Come on up. Come on up, have a seat. Okay. You are the person that's going to be taking it over, correct? Taking the, okay.
He's my dad. I'm gonna help him and with.
Does he understand English?
He understands English, but he is gonna have hard time speaking it.
Okay. Okay.
What number?
Ted left the room? Because do you understand all the things that have to be fixed? All the things according to the city
Yes.
building inspector that have to be done?
Yes.
Have they been done?
I think the building inspection has been done.
Can we get
You said, I think.
Ted back in here
Building
to...
inspection gonna- Yes, it has been done.
Okay, let's wait for the building inspector.
It should have been addressed.
And the other person has surrendered the license?
The other person is here. Yes.
You've already surrendered the license? Okay. Just gotta wait a minute, we'll wait for the building inspector. Make sure that everything's done, and so we can go ahead with this here.
Okay.
Does Ted know we're waiting on him?
Yeah.
Monica just
Monica
went to
went to get him. I don't know why he left. He knew this was on there. Why is this on there? Just be a minute here.
needs to be here, so I don't know whether we're taking
Well, it could be anywhere because it came in late. It's supplemental.
Jeff Warchel.
Okay.
81st and Lapham.
Okay, well, we can take it at any time.
Give him the time to
Okay.
finish.
Oh, we got all these to go through, so. Ted,
1568 81st Street, the liquor store.
Liquor store.
has it been okayed?
No,
It has not been okayed?
no, we still have orders on it with regards to repairs to the exterior to include painting. I'm not aware that, that they've been taken care of.
Yeah, actually,
You met with Ron Bailey,
yes.
and he has approved it?
No, actually, I sent you a request letter. I need some time till August.
So you're saying it hasn't been done, but you need more time to do it?
No, just to fix the building. You guys approved, I received a letter today, that I'll get a time till August 28th.
I haven't got your letter yet, have I?
Yes, I think so, yeah.
There's quite a lot of stuff that have to be done on the outside.
For quite some time.
Those
there's-
all stuff is done, sir.
There's lintels that are rusting and that hold up the brick above the windows. That's pretty major, substantial stuff. And the way that this has been going, I can't give you a good report at this time. This has continued. This has been from one applicant to another applicant to another applicant to another applicant. I've lost how many people we're dealing with.
Actually, my husband, he signed a contract with the person who's going to fix everything, but after that my husband got sick. He's in the hospital since 4 months. That's why it's getting a little late. Now I'm going to do everything.
You're currently, if I recall right, still open through June 30th. We don't have another council or meeting.
We have a meeting
July 1st.
July 1st. So it could be approved and open on the 2nd, so they could lose
Mr.
a
Chairman?
day and a half of business.
Oh, I don't think so.
I agree with Mr. Atkinson. I drive by that quite often. It's an eyesore. I'm sad to say, but it is an eyesore. And it seems like this is shuffle the licensee every year. There's a shuffle the licensee scenario. And I don't think that we're naive on this committee. We know what's happening out there. And as far as I'm concerned, unless you comply, and Mr. Atkinson comes to this committee and recommends that, okay, go ahead and approve. I cannot vote for this license, the renewal, a new license, in fact, because it's a new existing. Okay, I can't vote for it. You got to learn to comply, and it's an eyesore. It's part of cancers growing in our city where people are not maintaining the exteriors and interiors of the property. And you want to be a good resident, a good neighbor, then I think you need to make that building presentable.
Yes, we're working on it.
Okay.
That's all I'm saying.
Now, you understand what we're going to do? We're not voting on this tonight. Simply because, truthfully, I think if it went through, they'd vote no. So we're going to hold this until the council meeting on July 1st. You cannot be open July 1st because as of the 30th, you don't have a license. 31st. There's 30, right? Well, you don't have a license anymore.
Okay, as she just said, we received a letter that you gave us time to fix everything till August. What about that one? Like, if I get time till August, it's my guarantee I will get fixed each and everything you are telling me to fix.
Who did that letter go to?
Okay, wait, just...
The
It was-
previous licensee?
Yes.
Okay, that's not you.
Okay. She will fix it then.
Yeah.
She's gonna
I
take
will
the
fix it before
responsibility.
August 28th.
Well,
I'm doing
we're here in
really
July.
fast.
Well, I can come back on July 1st and let you know the status of this.
Okay.
I would prefer that everything be done. Once you give them that license to a
Right.
new, we know what you have to do to revoke that license.
Right.
Mr. Chair, yeah, I absolutely agree with Alderman Sangstock. We've been getting yanked around on this property since 10, and it's the one owner shuffle all the time, and we're done with it.
Okay.
I hope you take July 1st very, very seriously.
We will.
Well, you said you were going to lawyer up tonight and come in here and talk, and it's the same group that we see every night. Delay, 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 delay.
But we understand that it's really not, you inherited this problem. It's not, it is your problem now, but you inherited it. But we have to stand by this.
Yes.
And so, like I said, we had a meeting here on the Monday the 1st, and that's the next time we'll take it up. But you cannot be open at one day.
Okay.
Well, if we approve it on July 1st.
If we approve it.
Then it doesn't get issued till sometime in the afternoon on the 2nd. And
So-
again, there's no guarantee that we're going to approve it on July 1st either.
Right.
It's going to depend on how much work gets done in the next 2 weeks. And if you can satisfy Mr. Atkinson that everything else is going to be done if it's not finished already, in a very timely manner.
We will try. I will make sure she gets it done. My question is with you right now. I don't know what is the small or big things that needs to be done. If you can give me a letter of
Okay.
anything.
Yeah, you talk about that afterwards.
Yeah,
So
so
we're
I can
holding
get it done.
You understand?
Yes.
Okay.
I will explain it to
And
him. So
sorry, but that's,
I will.
we gotta get this done.
Yeah, we
Like I
will
said,
try
it's not
our
your
best
fault.
to. So we cannot open on July 1st, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Right. Either way, you're going to be closed on July 1st and
Okay.
maybe half of July 2nd.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay.
And I will talk to you in the hallway.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
We're gonna go to 39A. What?
No.
No, I'm here for you. Okay, I'll do that.
We'll
now.
wait till you come back in.
Because Jeff's here, you want to talk, this is 39A, is communication from Crawdaddy. Did you have something you want to?
Well, the issue with Crawdaddy is, you've got to have 15 days prior to, you have to apply 15 days prior to the granting. They didn't do that. So right now, if they were to apply now and you want the 15 days to go, it would be August before they can be open. Now, even if you were to grant them a temporary to be open, the problem with that is our ordinance says that you have to have all real estate taxes paid, all personal property taxes paid, fire issues have to be taken care of, health code issues. They haven't paid their personal property or real estate taxes. So the issue is going to be, are you going to grant them, are you going to kind of waive that? And if you waive that idea of personal property taxes, now you're kind of opening yourself up for what can happen in the future. What's the next guy going to say? Yeah, well, because you did it for Crawdaddies, you got to now do it for me. Well, why did you do it for Crawdaddies? So I wouldn't advise to waive the thing on personal property taxes. I think your best solution here, make them do the 15 days. That's going to keep them all of July out. But in the meantime, then they can work on an agreement with us, like we did with Scardinas, where we'll say, you can pay your personal property and real estate taxes so much per month, but we'll enter into a written agreement. And if we do it that way, it's going to be a little bit better. And then by the time you could just grant the old license, but it's just going to mean that it's going to be August 1st, because you only have one meeting in July, right? July 1st. So they're going to be out for all of July, and it won't be until August 1st, so your first meeting in August, that you can actually give them the license.
Mr. Chairman?
Does that make sense?
I see all those things.
I think where Attorney Wirtz is coming from is that, consistent with our council having a policy, we want to be friendly to our businesses. We want to do as best we can to keep them going. We understand that there are, the downside of businesses, and which oftentimes are beyond the control of businesses. We have cut slack on numerous situations. You mentioned another name now on Beloit Road, but if you can keep him in business and he can continue to improve or do what he's supposed to do, I think that's the best way to go. As opposed to closure or not issuing a license.
Mr. Chair? So, do I understand that we're looking at them being shut down for the month of July?
Month of July.
And that's primarily predicated on the fact that the council doesn't meet often in July.
Correctly.
Now, I do believe there's a process where, for a fee, we can call a special meeting of the council.
We changed it.
We don't do that anymore?
No. Are we still doing it?
It's still allowable,
Still allowable?
yeah.
So
And
if-
the clerk's office also has the ability to issue a provisional retail license too,
Yeah,
for a renewal that was submitted,
Oh, okay.
which,
I'm just trying to see if we can keep his downtime to a minimum. What we could push that down to, the absolute. What's the best we could do on that?
Well, and we'd like to really get a written agreement on the real estate and
Okay.
personal property tax.
Yeah, I understand
That's
that.
the main
I understand
concern.
that. And I think that's been made clear, but But I don't want to see them forcibly shut down for a month. I mean,
Well, Monica,
July's not a great month in the business, but
if you give them the 15
You ever get
days,
Summerfest?
can't you call a special meeting in like July? Mid-July or earlier?
A special meeting has the possibility of being called, otherwise we can look at a provisional retail license.
yeah, if you could just issue a provisional with, then that's no, is that a minor, smaller fee? I think the special meeting was
It's only
$1,000.
it's only $15 for the provisional retail.
Okay.
But still, then you're allowing them to operate without paying your real estate.
Well, no, assuming that you guys can hammer out a deal now.
Okay.
You guys, you find an acceptable deal, get going on it, and
I got you, okay.
okay.
Still, I still want a written agreement.
Yes, if you get a written agreement worked out with them as soon as possible, they could conceivably be opened on July 15th. Or
On July 1st.
they could conceivably open on July 1st, yeah.
Oh.
Okay,
Okay, so.
Right, with the provisional.
with a provisional.
So we should just hold this communication, or just place communication on file?
I guess I would hold it for now.
Okay. Until you work out?
By July 1st.
So
Okay.
now, would we act on their new license? Have we acted on their new license? We're not acting on their new license either. So right now, barring the issuance of provisional, they're gonna be closed July 1st, just like the previous liquor store was,
Correct.
which is a Monday. You guys are closed on Mondays anyway? Yeah.
The license application won't come to the council until the first Tuesday in August.
Oh, okay. But he could still get a provisional.
Yes.
That's the only way to go right now.
Right, I think so too. Okay.
After the tax agreement
After
is-
we have an agreement.
After the tax agreement's made.
That would be fine.
Let's just hold it.
Okay. So we're just gonna hold that, and they should contact you, your
Right.
office, and.
Jenna Merton and
Jenna.
myself will take care of it.
Okay. Okay, then go back to
Back to
number.
Christine Budiak.
Yeah. 67, Christine. Okay, you're here.
Holly's Empire expand. You're not gonna go like the other guys, are you?
What's the fin for?
Well, they got like a dozen joints now, or half a dozen places.
Oh, really? No. Good Lord, no. I didn't want to do this one.
So they have an application for,
It's the old Derby,
oh, behind.
Oh,
right?
Right,
Yeah,
right, right.
Yep, the old Derby.
Mr. Chair?
Alden Wagon.
So, Polly, you guys bought the building,
Yep, we're in the process.
You're in the process of buying the building.
Yep.
and is there an apartment upstairs? I'm trying to.
Apartment upstairs,
And what do you-
2-bedroom.
What are you gonna rent it out, or?
Rent it out, yep.
Okay.
Yep.
And it's gonna be Polly's field trip,
Polly's
right?
field trip,
Yeah.
yep.
American, Wisconsin craft beers,
Yep.
and like road trips to brewer
The
games,
breweries.
stuff like
Yeah,
that?
stuff like that. Yeah, basically tied in with the other one and offer something different because I couldn't offer the same thing. Just small.
Yeah, you don't, yeah.
Yeah, small.
I'm gonna say, I'm gonna have, my concern is that your patrons are gonna think it's one big bar and walk down the street with drinks in their hands. I wanna make sure that we
Right,
understand up
yep,
front
yep.
that that's not what this is.
Yep. Nope. It is not.
There's not like-
not an entertainment complex. Nope. Not
It's
at
not
all.
Summerfest, it's
Nope.
not State Fair, you can't walk from one place to another with a drink.
Right.
I guess that would be my major concern on it, I guess.
Okay, do I have a motion?
I'll move approval.
Second.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
Awesome. Thank you.
Grand opening, what?
July 1st, I think.
Greg Bushberger.
Yeah, okay, July 1st.
Bushburger?
Craig, come on up.
So this is for the
Mr. Chair?
Alden Wagle.
I talked to Mr. Bushberger on the phone last week. He's a long time in the business in southeastern Wisconsin, knows it up and down. I didn't see anything in the criminal background on him. You know, he's buying the Needle Inn. He's going to be an owner-operator. He tells me he's going to live in the apartment upstairs after he does extensive remodeling.
Right.
You know, I think it's going to be a good addition to that corner. Maybe raise the level of bar quality along that stretch of National Avenue. Ever since there was an iconic bar on the corner of 73rd that got torn down some years ago.
Yeah, that was it done.
Oh, but they moved over to Green for that.
Alden Sixth?
I also had a chance to talk to Mr. Bushberger and his family. His no-head was in the city. Craig used to have a bar in 68th and Beloit years ago. Then Layton and Highway 100, we had that. And I did talk to Craig and indicate to him, because he pretty much bought the place sight and seen, that we have to be compliance with what our city building inspector indicates, and he was fully aware of that. He wants to go in there, put some money in the place, and make it a place where older guys can go.
Hey!
I'm approved as insurance to comply, subject to all the necessary requirements.
Ruled second. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Good luck.
Thank you. William Savage. So you couldn't sell it?
No, not in the shape it was in.
So you're redoing it and you're opening it up as Game Day Sports?
Spring Game Day Sports Club.
Sports Club. What's going to be the difference in what you had before? It's just, I remember you got an email.
If you've been in,
Of course, I wasn't in it
when
before,
it was
so.
Wild Bill Saloon. In 1994, when I first got there, it needed a makeover, and it never did get it. I mean, it was the same carpet, you know, it was sticking to the floor. So, I mean, we spent a lot of money and a lot of time. We put in new carpeting, we put in new decor. I've got all new TVs around. I closed for a substantial amount of time to try to, you know, so that when I opened up, I wasn't, you know, it wasn't the same thing, you know. I mean, just a different sign out front and the same people and the same bartenders and stuff. So, that's.
But, you know, you had a number of violations that we were acting on.
Mr. Chair,
All the way.
I guess you're still going to be running it?
Yeah.
Okay. What assurance do we have that anything's going to change other than the name and the decor? We were in the process of closing you down when you closed and said you were going to sell it. We were happy at that point because we thought it was going to be a new operator in there.
Well, actually, we came to an agreement where there was the 10-day closure, and then I just voluntarily closed it down because there was some problems. I was in the process of getting that turned around when all these things started happening. The cameras that I put on the outside of the building, the inside of the building, really made all the difference in the world. You know, when you can't be there 24 hours, and you put camera systems in, you can be there 24 hours. If my bartender is there at 2:15 and the bar time was 2 o'clock, I know that. If there's somebody else in there, I know that. I mean, and of course, if there's, and they know that, and so they know that, you know, they would be immediately terminated. I mean, all of those kinds of problems that we're talking about have really ceased to exist.
Well,
That's great you did all that. How have you changed? You were named in a couple of the police complaints, I believe, right? Where loud music and you were being rude to the police. Was that you?
Well,
how have you changed?
Well, look, I was not purposely rude to that police officer. I came here and I explained that night I had not bartended down in the bar for a long time, years. I work in Madison. I worked in Madison at that particular time. I went down and I was bartending, and a couple of guys came in and I hadn't seen, and we were just getting in pretty soon. You know, I had too much to drink, and I came down here, and that's exactly what I told you, gentlemen. That, you know, it was just one of those things where, and then of course I turned up the music, and when the officer came in, I asked him if the music was really loud outside, and he thought that I was being a smart aleck, and I wasn't trying to be a smart aleck. And then I apologized to him. I turned down the music, and that was the end of it. Now, I also reported to you gentlemen that what we did is we had the jukebox company come, turn down the music to where even if the bartender would blast it as loud as it goes, you cannot hear it from any of the edge of the property. So that took care of the noise, and that's what it was. Now, I am on both the school boards in Hartford. I'm on the high school board, I'm on Joint 1 school board. I have worked for a state representative for the last 8 years. The police officers in Hartford, Wisconsin come to me to discuss legislation that's pending, my opinions on those kinds of things. I am on the side of law enforcement.
We're aware of those things, but you have a history, and that's not going away. That even though you change the name and everything, it's still there because you're still the agent and everything. Alderman Barzak he couldn't be here this evening, but he just says if there's a violation, he's going to move to remove the license, for a motion to remove the license. So I just expressing that to you, and so just so you know where you stand, and that's what he said. And obviously, people come in and start fighting in your bar, and you call the police. We don't hold it against you, but as far as we go, but.
Well, the activity that concerned the board, and I understand 100%, the after-hours activity, that I think people I think the bartenders that I had just knew that I can't drive down from Hartford, but now, that's why when I got that camera system, and I can go my laptop, and if I'm in Atlanta, Georgia, I can see that last night they closed at the proper time, and there wasn't the problems that we had, and if somebody says that there was the he said she said outside is all now on camera. So.
Okay, do I have a motion?
Mr. Chair, one more. I'll move approval.
Second.
Okay.
Mr. Chair. When you tried to sell it, did you list it with a real estate agent? Was it listed on MLS?
Yeah.
Okay. And did you put it on Craigslist or anything too?
No.
Yeah. I'm just curious how hard you tried to sell it. I understand that. I don't care what your price was. Apparently you didn't. Apparently you wanted more than anybody in the market was willing to pay. I guess ultimately that's why no sale happened. Right? I mean, did people approach you about buying it? Did you have offers?
There was a few. I mean,
I'm just curious.
Off record, I wouldn't mind having a larger.
No, I don't even want to. I just want to make sure that an honest attempt was made to sell it.
That's all I said.
And you're saying had it listed with a broker, and it was on the MLS.
Okay.
Yes.
That attempt is still happening through the fact that open.
You didn't just have a sign in the window that said for sale.
Yeah,
you hired a professional, and it was listed for sale through MLS.
Right.
Okay. That's all I wanted to know.
Is there any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Adam Kirschner. Okay, have an operator license. Okay. This is for bartender license. This is a new application.
Mr. Chair?
Alderman Singstop.
Anyway, I look at your application, and you have to fill out what happened in the past, and there was a couple incidents, and I don't know whether maybe the report is.
I know there was a lot on there. So.
No, but there's a couple operating while intoxicated.
Yes.
2005, 2008, and in the end, there was a lot of operator revocation, operating after suspended. I just why wouldn't you list? Why wouldn't you list those two violations, the glaring violations, opposed to speeding and driving?
I just knew the speeding was really recent, and I was
2000. Well, you had 2013, then the driver's suspension, and the other one was August 2009. But I don't think anyone forgets about operating well intoxicated.
I wrote it on the back of it. I wrote them both on the back. Because I needed more room.
You don't see it here.
Where do you intend to work?
The Stella's Palace. I mean, since my DUIs and things like that, I have gone through the National Restaurant Association Serve Safe class. I've taken the regular, the advanced, and I've gone as far as to even become a proctor for it. And so I've probably trained over 150 people for alcohol safety since my DUIs, and I've been an advocate for alcohol safety. I'm a current liquor license holder in Walworth County, and I have 0 occurrences there. And I'm just trying to be a bartender.
Are you working elsewhere?
I own Primo Italian Oven in Walworth County.
Mr. Chair?
Alderman
I guess I'm not familiar with Primo Italian Oven.
It's a new open restaurant. It used to be called Uncle's Barbecue right outside of Lake Geneva on the Powers Lake.
So you own a bar and restaurant in Walworth County, and you want to bartend at the Stella's Palace?
Yes. I'm actually going to be the bar manager for him. I'm a silent partner out there. I come in 2-3 days a week, and then 2-3 days a week to fill the rest of my time out.
In Walworth County, you're a silent partner? Or
Yes,
here?
Walworth County.
Well, this is on television, so you may not be too silent anymore.
Yeah, that's fine.
Sorry. Sorry to call you out on that.
No, it's okay.
Mr. Chair?
Alderman Weigel.
I have the same concerns about, we asked you about your background, and you have to know, especially since you're a proctor for the Service Safe course, you have to know the reason we asked that question.
Yeah, I put them on there.
It's
It is on the back.
You're on the back.
Hardly can see it.
Okay.
See in the back, we got it on the back.
Okay.
Yeah, I would never try to conceal that. I know you guys are looking into it.
And understand that generally, if you had a third DUI, not that we have like a 3 strikes rule or anything, but I can tell you if you had a third one as recently as the other 2, I would be voting automatically no.
Okay. Move it, Mr. Chairman.
Do I have a second?
I'll second. And I have one more question.
Alderman Weigel.
You do have another charge that we have no prosecution on from '04, falsely present a non-controlled substance. It's with the Sheriff's Department in Milwaukee?
I've not even seen a court case or anything.
You have no idea what that is?
I know what it is, but...
It's just no prosecution?
Yeah, I haven't had one court case.
Were you underage at the time?
I was 18.
Okay. And what was it, like oregano, or?
No, it was, I don't really want to talk about it, to be honest. I mean, it was a mistake I made. It was for a friend. Nothing came about it.
Yeah, I see.
The
There's no
district attorney said
prosecution.
if I didn't do anything stupid for a while.
It's just that we see it was charged as a felony originally, potentially.
Yes, and I mean, what I did was a mistake. I was young, stupid, and since then I've been.
Is there any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
So the motion, this license will be acted on by the entire council tonight, and then signed, and you can pick it up tomorrow at the clerk's office, or be mailed to your house.
I'll just pick it up.
Yeah. You need to pick it up before 2 o'clock?
Before 3 o'clock.
Before 3 o'clock. Otherwise, it'll go in the mail.
Okay, so tomorrow.
Or you could hold it. If you tell them to hold it, they can hold it.
And it's not effective until July 1st.
I think I applied for the temporary too.
Yeah, you can come.
Okay.
So tomorrow. Okay, cool.
Okay.
Okay.
Jennifer?
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Hoggley? Hoggley. I tried. I'm terrible. Since that didn't help me out this time.
Hoggley. Hoggley, right?
Right, yes.
Okay, this is another new application. And where are you going to be bartending? Wild Bill's.
I'm not so sure now that I just heard.
You saw his
coincidence ago.
Craigslist ad, I guess?
Yes.
Okay, and have you bartended before? Or?
Yes, I currently hold a Milwaukee and a Greenfield license. I bartended in Milwaukee for over 10 years. Greenfield, It's been about a year now, and I've never had any incidents in either.
Okay,
As far as my record, yes, I have a felony. I was in a bad marriage for a long time, and he had a record and I didn't, and thought if I took the blame I'd get probation. I was wrong. And as far as the fights, I was young and dumb and got in a lot of fights over things he did with other females, and since then we've separated. I have 3 kids I raised. I've been bartending, like I said, a long time, and I've never had any incidents in a bar or while bartending.
okay, well, my concern would be the, well, it says January 4th, 2007. And 6 years ago. It's probably the same thing you'd have in 2006. That on there, the possession with intent.
That's all the same. That
That's the
happened
same
one
one?
time. Yeah, that's all the same case.
Because they have the 7 manufacturer / deliver. It says no disposition though.
I don't know why it would be on there twice. It was once, and the case, I lost my license then in that January, once we finally had a court date. That didn't keep getting pushed off, but not my bartender's license, my driver's license.
Yep, Mr. Chair.
Well,
Yeah, the thing that really concerns us is this intent to deliver, especially at a felony level. I don't know, is every intent to deliver a felony automatically?
Not every, depends on what you're doing.
Depends on the amount involved.
What it is.
Right, and what it is,
It
And,
was what it was. It was a small amount, but it was what it was.
but it was enough apparently to make it a felony, And I know 06 might seem like a long time ago to some people, but it doesn't seem that long ago to me, I guess. And I don't think I can support a bartending license.
I've carried a license before that for many years,
Well, I
and
understand
every day
that.
since then, and I've never had an incident while bartending.
Appreciate that, but,
okay, do we have any further discussion? Do we have a motion?
I'll move for denial based on the record.
Second.
Do we have any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
We opposed? Sorry.
Thank you.
Robert Ubelacker.
Okay.
Now we need Ted back.
Oh, yeah.
Unless he's got some great news for us that says.
Hey, guys.
Did you find a check somewhere?
Brought the wife in though.
Yeah, and also we took care of all the problems on the building.
Okay.
We'll hear what Ted says.
And I really want to say I'm sorry I misunderstood you guys.
Try to get them as
Okay.
fast as possible.
About the
Before we go,
property.
Ted, we want to hear from
We
you.
worked out very well. It's acceptable to me. The windows that were exposed with wood studs and plywood have now been replaced with storm windows that you can't really see into. I issued a building permit for basically cold storage. It's very specific. Nothing can be occupied up there. It'll get him out of municipal court. It's agreeing that the next owner or them, they're going to have to get another permit to finish all that up there. So the problem I had, is looking at it, it was a burnt-out building. It now doesn't look like a burnt-out building. He has done some additional stuff to a door that I asked him to work on. So I think the building is presentable today. And my recommendation is to, and he's here because Jenna informs you of all cases that are in municipal court when they have a liquor license.
Right.
So I believe it should get out of court with this permit being issued and such. So.
Yeah, we heard that, Mr. Chairman, move approval.
Second.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Bye. Yay.
Thank you, guys.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Thank you.
That's what you can
You know,
Yeah.
you're thinking about
So
the
what are we
neighborhood, and I just
doing?
wasn't thinking about, you know.
Okay. Then we have number 73.
Place the file, Mr.
Thank you,
Chair.
Ted.
Yeah.
Thanks for taking care.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Thanks, guys.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Then it come down to Ace. Did everybody get their letter?
There's Ace.
Right on, Ace.
Oh, here, yes.
Dismissed.
Okay, there was the question on the wording or something, fine,
The font size.
the font size. And, no, I don't have my letter here with me. I must have it.
I have.
Left it up there. You have the letter?
Yeah.
Is that acceptable to you? Truthfully, I don't remember who.
Well, I guess I see stuff highlighted here. I assume the highlighting was yours?
Yes.
The yellow highlighting? Okay.
You'd asked me to bring verification of my application.
I guess that looks good to me.
Yeah. I move approval, Mr. Chairman.
Second.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Carries.
All right, thank you for working with us.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Okay, then we got item number 40. This is for to have an application
Should I leave the
renewal.
room?
No, we'll talk about you right in front of you. You know.
Number 40, move approval.
Second.
Okay, approval, second.
Those are all those.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Anyone voting
My
present?
wife? No.
Anyone voting? Anyone voting present?
Present.
Mr. Chairman, is there any problem with my voting by making a motion 41 through 60 for approval and where applicable, subject to necessary requirements?
Do I have a
Is that the
second?
motion? Second.
Yes.
Any further discussion? It's all the way to 60. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Then we have number 61.
Who puts the file?
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Okay. I believe that is all. Since I got to sit on right off.
Did we,
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Monica, did we have to bring Public Works back into, for joint referral? Alderman Lysak was in here, said there was some sort of joint referral from Safety and Development regarding the land sale. He was talking to John Steeple about it?
It wasn't a joint referral on the agenda unless they referred it to Public Works. I don't know if they actually referred it, but it wasn't noted on the agenda as a joint.
Okay, because when we adjourned Public Works, he came in there and looking for it, thought that we had it, and he said we might have to deal with it yet. Can we deal with it on the floor if we need to?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, if you want to bring it out for further discussion.
I don't have it here, so.
It was just for safety and development. I think that was number 38, 39.
Okay.